Hey guys, Monk22 here. Today we're covering an after action review by Chris over here. Now, I'm reluctantly covering this one, not because it's one thing I want to recover, because this is actually a very good game and almost a point of almost flawless in terms of game performance. I don't want these games, I want games where you can learn. This is all about helping the community. This guy obviously does not need my help in terms of how to improve his hyper game. He's doing just fine the way it is. And I really just don't see why this needs to be featured at all. I just don't see it. It's expertly played, and I'll demonstrate why each thing is expertly played, and that might be somewhat informative. But I don't want games like this posted in my after action review. Period. This is not a good thing. Alright, first off, he's an AFK DD, and he's reporting him. I kind of understand, but I mean, at the start of the game, he could still do good stuff, and I don't think reporting was. I think it's a little bit too harsh, but it doesn't really matter. It's not really relevant. Anyway, Hipper AP, incredibly good. Broadside Vanguard, definitely worth shooting, but only after you get just close to the cover of the island there. You see that? And he does that so that any shots coming over, he can mitigate a lot of it with the island, and even so, he can turn off and angle against most of it. Vanguard and Richard both have 15-inch guns. Hipper has 27mm plating, so a little risk, or any no risk to firing that. And the Hipper AP is pretty good. Despite what those salvos there, it was pretty darn good salvos regardless, because Hipper AP is definitely worth shooting at whenever possible. Hipper AP is actually does the same amount of damage, and over penetration does the same amount of damage as the HE pen. So the HE only has, like, obviously it can the chance to break modules and cause fires, so that's why you use it on DDs, but the AP is actually pretty darn good on DDs as well, because the HE alpha is so low. The AP does almost the same damage. So yeah, you really want to be using AP, as I said, on the Hipper. Now, being very cautious this game, and being cautious in a game where there's battleships got 16-inch guns, and the Hipper cannot be, I mean, it does have an icebreaker bow, but it doesn't actually have enough armor on its side, which is 27, to effectively bound to 16-inch guns. That's 30 or above, so that's not going to happen. He's going to shoot the broadside Vladivostok. If you built into the pen, probably would have Citadel, but generally you just get pens, which is all good. Only one, but whatever. That's still pretty good. Richelieu aiming just the right spot, just upper deck or deck. You can tell that's a British DD by the single fire torps. He's pushing in, he's by one to the torpedo threat, and he's turned on his sonar. So again, expert play there. Lightning does pop up because the sonar, he fires what you got in barrels, and then he switches to HE. As you can see, the AP does really good, and you'll see the result with HE. Still pretty good. It's almost the same result. The only difference is he sets a fire and he lands a couple more hits. But you see the damage is almost the same with the HE over pen and then the AP over pen and the HE penetrations. But the chance of the fire is what really makes a difference. Okachov follows up and gives the support where he needs to be. Now this is where he really kind of holds his ability to YOLO. The Hipper is incredibly good at YOLOing targets, but if he did that, there's either a chance he can kill them both or just get absolutely killed before anything happens. So he needs to be very careful about this. There's a Ridgely that can't overmatch him, but the Massachusetts can. Massachusetts is giving flat broadside, but he does see him coming with that plane. Plane does get shot down, and he's going to fire the torpedoes just in case, but though if the Massa is paying any heat, he's probably not going to get any results from those, but still worth firing. So he's decided to disengage from this. He's still next to the island, so if the Ridgely did push, he could get the torpedoes off and do something about it. And he's taken the cautious approach, which is okay, because he could potentially have got the Massa, but unfortunately Massa is wise to that. He was paying attention to the minimap. So he does just simply disengage here, and this is not a bad move at all. It's possibly the safer option, and you know, as mentioned in the last video before, the safer option is sometimes the better option. So he's just going to safely help cap this objective with his team, and yeah, he's just going to keep the plane up there to keep them spotted, or maybe shoot down the enemy plane. He's going to try for some shots, and those are completely not going to get anywhere. German ballistics, particularly with AP, is really low height. You're not going to shoot over anything. This is not going to get anywhere. No. German shell arcs do not shoot over islands very well. Even at ranges, they struggle with that. So it's worth trying. I don't get. Sometimes it is worth trying. Sometimes it's not. That really wasn't even worth trying. But again, I'm just being super critical because you sent me such a good game. I must have no choice but to, you know, critique the bits where he's really wanted it, where he's made a slight error of judgment, even though these are tiny. Because he's shot, he is now spotted by the massa, and this could be the first misplay here. Shooting the massa is a particularly risky engagement. If the massa shot back, that could be really bad. The angle that he's doing is almost irrelevant against the massa, because the massa doesn't match the 27. Richelieu, we have no real problems bouncing most of that. And you are spotted. I think you're targeted by the Kagero than anything else. And yeah, massa did not shoot you, which is very lucky. You could have been eating some serious damage there. Okachov must also be targeting you, or it could be just the Okachov. I can't actually see the number change when I'm recording this too much. You get some sneaky damage, some cheeky damage in there on the massa, and that could have been, that's your first and pretty much only real misplay of this whole game, was firing at that island. Sometimes it's not worth shooting because, you know, you do have yourself open up your detection window. That could have resulted in a really bad shot from the massa, and it could have been some serious health loss. But again, that's just a slight misplay. This is what you're asking me to put. You know, you're asking me to critique this game, so I'm doing what I can. Fire one set of torps to the Okachov. The second set, that's fine. I don't think the Okachov will push into them, and I don't think you do either. You're gonna fire some AP in the superstructure of the Arago. Switch to HE for the DD if he decides to push himself out. I would have done a full right turn and fired some torpedoes at the Kagero, but both choices are definitely fine. He's decided to disengage anyway, so it's not worth the push then. It turns out that your decision was the better decision. You do break some modules, that's the whole point of switching to HE and the Hepper, and he switches back to AP for the potential damage on the massa. He is pushing into the cap to help ensure that the cap is being capped. It's going to get capped anyway, but it's always nice to get those extra points when needed. Plus it caps it faster. Faster caps mean you can win the games better. More point gain, simple as that. It may seem trivial, it's a couple seconds faster, but it's definitely worth it. He tells the DD to push back because Okachov does have radar, and you really don't want to get caught within 10 kilometers of an Okachov in a DD. It's just risky because the Russian shell ballistics are very good. He does turn on the sonar. Z-23 probably could sonar as well, but sometimes it's all better just to trust yourself and assume the teammate is not running sonar. Even though this is more for the Z-23's sake than Hepper and the Chris's sake here in Hepper, because the Z-23 was spotted torpedoes for him. He spots the broadside Arago, much better target than an angled Okachov. Okachov does show the broadside now. We do try and punish him. Overpens, unfortunately. We try the rear turrets. Still overpens, unfortunately. This is very nasty to the Dell, even at close ranges. Sonar is paying off dividends right now, and we're going to open up our angle once the Okachov fires. And there we go. Fires a set of torpedoes at the beach to Okachov. He's firing up in the superstructure. We can get plenty hits. That 27mm plating means almost nothing when you aim for the higher superstructure there. Going for that. He's going to fire another good salvo into him. Absolute rips him a new one, and the torpedo just finishes him off. Arago is firing torps. He sees him coming, slows down, speeds up again just to get the turn. And this is the point where he could have fired, but he didn't. Again, probably would have hit the island, but some of them might not have. But the extra one shell that got through could have been a citadel. And this is where the decision he decides to cap rather than chase down the Arago. I mean, if the Arago wasn't as good was a better player, he could have done some damage to the enemy Odin. You could have gone dark or something, or you could have been torpedoed by the enemy Odin. The Adigo could simply stern tank, bow tank the Odin and torpedoed him. So putting some pressure on the Adigo might be nice for your enemy, for your friendly Odin player. But I understand what you're trying to do. Again, you're just trying to win the safe way, and you're just going for the safe, comfortable A cap. You could have bagged yourself a potential kill, or helped the Odin get that kill. But yeah, the Adigo could, if he played well, he could probably get rid of the Odin, or at least do some serious damage to said Odin. But he doesn't get even a torp, and he gets taken out. So it's not really a matter of, it's just hindsight there. But I think you could have maybe helped out the Odin. But yeah, went for the cap, and that's always a safe choice. Again, with the AP on the broadside Iowa, ideal. If you built into the pen, maybe you could have done a bit more. Unfortunate, those shadows. That's just typical American bias there. Now, the upper AP is really good. Just you gotta give it a chance to perform. There we go, a little bit better. He's gonna get another wee salvo in there again from complete cover, which is really good. He's shooting over the island a little bit. Now he's spotted, but I was not interested, as you can see. And look at that, 7 penetrations. Well, 3 pens, 4 pens, but overall they all penetrated the Iowa. Massa just dev strikes them casually, and we get off another 3rd capture. So overall, a very careful game, but a very good game. He's really shown that he knows his stuff in terms of the Hipper and the cruiser plays. Playing a very passive game, and that's always a good game when you're going for the caps and focusing on the point win. That's what he's really gone for. He's not really gone for the kills, he's not really gone too aggressively, and he's not really traded my hit points. If our team didn't do as well, this could have been a bit of a problem. Sometimes you have to take some risks, but he did it exceptionally well. Really good game here, and this is a prime example of how to play the Hipper. And yeah, really, if you want to go for the crazy brawling in the Hipper, it can work, but you do sacrifice some health, and it could go all wrong very quickly. Probably worth taking the shot there. There's no reason not to take the shot, though it does connect with the island because, like as I said, German AP shell arcs and just German HE shell arcs as well, very low trajectory. So you really have struggled to shoot over islands. Z23 almost died because the Okachoff, my guess, and you know he was right to tell the guy to get back at the right time. Popping the sonar, I understand why he did it. I would have popped it a bit later, but it really doesn't matter at this point. We've got 900 points, 3 caps here, and he's pushing in to support his team at the very end to make sure the Kagero doesn't get a double strike or something like that. Z23 does pop the smoke. You really don't want that because you're going to lose sight of the Kagero. Best thing to do is to kill the Kagero before any torpedoes have a chance to land anywhere. So, there we go. Kagero is out. That's the game win. So overall, as I said, very good game. I don't really want more of these games. I want really games where you're willing to learn and you make mistakes, because this was almost a flawless game. 2000 base XP and overall 94,000 damage. A very good and strong game. As I said before, I do not want games like this. I'm looking for games where you make mistakes and you're trying to learn the ship and you don't know what you've done wrong. Clearly he's done nothing wrong this game. He's made a couple, like 1 or 2 mistakes the whole game. It's borderline perfect, so I don't see why this game should be featured at all. But I've only gotten 2 replays so far, and this is one of them. The other one was, again, useless game to cover, so I'll show this for you guys for now. This does show that playing cautiously in a Hipper can yield some good rewards. And as always, yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you next time. Bye for now.